All right, just wanted to kind of do a little quick overview and demo of the inflator. Now this is just going to be the low volume, high pressure inflator. They have the one that's high volume, low pressure, and of course they have that dual purpose one that I've done a video on before in the past. I kind of got this one. It's $20 right now. They're kind of selling through them a good bit. Matter of fact, my store only said it had limited stock and it just had this one that was left. But I got this for my wife just because, especially with it being winter time. The other day, her tire pressure was really low and she had to try to make it to the gas station after she dropped one of the kids off at school, and did not want her to be in a situation where she's sort of stranded and not able to, get air in her tire, and it popped the seal, and now she's stuck until she can call roadside, and then we're, up the creek. But anyway, just one little difference that I think is sort of an advantage, and you might not think it is, but this has got the old school, you put it on the stem of the valve, you put it on the stem of the tire, whether it be a bicycle tire, jogging stroller tire, what have you, and then you clamp it down. Now those of us that are old enough to have to put air in your tires all the time, riding your bikes around the neighborhood, you go to your friend's house, hey, I need some air, and you get out the little T-style dynamite plunger, and you clamp this onto the stem and pump it up. But anyway, I got a 4-amp-hour battery on here. Should last, enough to do a tire a couple times, or at least last long enough. Anyway, one thing that I kind of, this is the plus here, and the reason why I say that was because that dual purpose inflator, you've got the screw on nozzle, whereas, and there's a higher chance that if you cross thread it, or if somebody's using it that might not have a whole lot of experience with that type of thing, whether it be young people or what have you, there's a high chance you could cross thread it, and then now you've ruined the end of your hose. This is as simple as it gets, and I'll show you. You put it on here, and then I know I should be using my tripod, but it is what it is. So the best way to do it is to kind of grab it with your left hand or your right hand, whatever hand dominant you are, then clamp it down at the same time. And it's gonna make when you start hearing it hiss, is whenever you want to clamp. And that'll let you know you've opened the plunger and you've opened the valve stem inside, and that will let air go in and come out. But obviously, you push the trigger, and one thing I wish that they did is that you could have it would be like a trigger lock. As far as I know, this does not have it. It's either on or off, and there's no lockout feature. So if you keep the battery on it, you can accidentally bump it, just like you heard me do a few minutes ago. But it was a nice little touch. They updated it with the digital gauge here. But anyway, you just tap it, and it should give you, all right, we're at 30 PSI. So this was 29 a minute ago, according to the inside of the car. So is this going to be 100% accurate? No, but it'll put you enough air in the tire to get it where you need to go. So I'm going to put 35 in there, and I think it just moves a little bit quicker than the dual purpose inflator. But here we go. If you're got your volume turned all the way up, you might want to turn it down. And you kind of let it go. I'm guessing we're at 32, but anyway, this puts out 150 psi, so it should go fairly quickly. Now this is a 2019 Traverse with 255s. Obviously, if you've got a smaller tire, maybe a 225, you know, it's going to go a little bit quicker. But these are 20-inch wheels, so this is a fairly good sized tire. All right, put it 36 in there. So we'll check the inside and see what the TPS computer says. I guess it's gonna make it start to see the pressure. All right, so it's saying we're at 31. So we've only put, you know, I think it was 29. We put 2 PSI in there in just a few minutes we've been doing it. So obviously you need to have you want to have at least a secondary tire gauge with you that you sort of use on the actual stem itself. But this is just demonstration purpose. I just want to real quick kind of give you an overview, my thoughts and opinions on it. Like I said, I think it's for what it does, I think it's a good inflator. It's saying 33, obviously not as accurate as, now can't we see the, okay, it's 33. So anyway, this is saying 33, and again, vehicle staying 31. Is this for 100% accuracy purposes? No. That's why I recommend, you know, having a PSI reader, PSI gauge in your pocket, in your glove box. Always keep one in mind. And like I said, features, you've got the LCD screen. It might be a little more accurate as far as reading the numbers compared to analog. I like the connector on here. It's a clamp-on style as opposed to a screw-on style. Again, this prevents cross-threading, so you don't ruin the tip. And you've also got some other pieces for sports balls, maybe your who knows what else, maybe some smaller beach balls or what have you. So good sports balls, soccer balls, footballs, basketball, soccer balls. Again, the only thing that I wish they sort of had on here was the ability to lock the trigger in the on position as opposed to sitting there holding it the whole time. But other than that, that's the RYOBI Power Inflator with the digital gauge. Real quick, I figured I'd just go ahead and include this in on the video. This is the connector I was talking about on the dual purpose inflator. It's a screw-on style. So we'll screw it on the, now I just inflated this to the computer says 35 PSI. You can see it. The back driver's side tire. So we'll screw this bad boy on here and we'll see how accurate they are. Now, after I filled this tire up to 35, according to the computer, the high pressure, low volume was showing 36 PSI after I let the trigger off. So we'll turn this on. All right, this one's saying, sounds like it's not sealed all the way. Now this one's saying 34.5. Now it's kind of getting dark out here. There we go, 34.5. So we'll do, usually it's used to let you do halfsies. Anyway, we'll start. We're still showing 35 on the dash. It's getting dark, so I was having a hard time focusing. Alright, so let's get to 36. Alright, it shuts off automatically at 36. That's another difference here. You have to manually, of course, release the trigger to get it to stop. This one's kind of a set it and forget it. I accidentally dropped the phone and it shut off. This one's a set it and forget it at 36, and we'll check the computer. Still showing 35. So these are not 100% accurate. These are off by a half PSI or 1 PSI, but you know, in a pinch, it's going to work just fine. It's going to put air in your tire, and that is the point. That's why I say, you know, always have a even just an analog one probably works best. That way you don't have to worry about batteries, and you can sort of just read the notches, and you're good to go.